So hey guys, I thought I would do a vlog. I have a long commute now, and a lot of times I think about things on my way home because I lose reception after a while. So this will be the first one and we'll see how this goes. I thought I would just use this time to kind of talk about things that are on my mind. Well, of course, now it's fall, even though here it still feels like summer. It's been really hot here. It's supposed to be 85 today. I'm tired of it. Yeah, so anyway, Halloween season. Probably my favorite time of year. October may be my favorite month. I don't think I'm going to dress up this year. I wanted to. Halloween's on a Friday, so I could take off and work a different day because of the way my schedule is, but I don't really have any plans, so I'm not sure I want to take off and, have to go in over the weekend. But as far as Halloween movies go, recently I saw the movie Good Boy. And if you guys don't know what that is, it's about a dog and his owner, his master, and they go to this house that I can't, The Good Boy's one of those movies, I can't talk a lot about it without giving the movie away, but they go to this house and creepy things start to happen to the dog. But I will say it's not exactly what you think that it's going to be, at least it wasn't for me. I wasn't really sure what to expect because the trailer just kind of shows like some creepy images and a dog. I think in my mind I thought maybe it was a home invasion movie or something where something's going to happen to the owner. Well, I was wrong and it wasn't like that. Really good movie. I enjoyed it. It was kind of slow. It wasn't like fast paced. Like I saw The Strangers too. That was more very fast paced and a lot of things were going on, whereas this, it was slow. But, it's a movie, it's all told through the point of view of a dog. And the shots are kind of like, you don't see the people much. It's like E.T. kind of, if you've seen the movie E.T., where it always kind of shoots from the kid's perspective. That's kind of how this was done too with the dog. You rarely see the owner, and when you do, most of the time the face is blurred or you can't tell what he looks like. But I enjoyed it. It's a short movie. It was only an hour and 15 minutes long. It was good though. It had a lasting effect, even though parts of it were kind of slow. It's one of those movies I did walk away thinking about it after I had left the theaters, where other movies just don't stick with you. Like another horror movie I saw was The Conjuring. I don't know, maybe I'm in the minority. I don't really like these movies, and I don't really believe in the supernatural. I love horror, and I do like Poltergeist, and that's a haunted house movie. I'm not a huge haunted house movie person. I don't know, it's just not my thing. I never liked those kind of shaky cam movies. What was the one that came out, like Insidious? Those movies, I mean, I've seen a lot of them, but it's just not my thing. But I went because everyone wanted to see The Conjuring, and I've only seen, I guess, the newest one and the first one. The people that those are supposed to be based on sounds like they have really shady past, where the guy was arrested for fraud, and I don't know, I just didn't think it was scary, and some of the stuff seemed like it had been done before, which, yeah, I know they've run out of ideas, but there's a part with it where this girl's in like a bridal shop trying on dresses, and there's a mirror, and she can see herself in the mirror, like a whole bunch of herself, and I was thinking, this has been done before, and then I was trying to think where it had been done. It was in Poltergeist 3, and my friend said, well, these guys have been out doing this since, I guess, the 70s, so maybe even before that, maybe the 60s, I don't remember. But he said, they maybe got it originally from these people because they kept all these records of the things that they'd done where they go to these haunted houses and things. But either way, it's probably something, if they did, they made it up. And it's been done before, and I didn't think it was scary. And the one part that was kind of like gross was this woman eats glass, and you're thinking, oh, she's dead. No, she's in the next frame. And I'm like, how the hell would you eat glass and survive through that? Unless you're, like the Terrifier clown or something, that's not going to happen. So I saw that, and then I also saw Strangers 2. And I think I was confused about the Strangers 2 because I thought it was a sequel of the Strangers that came out in 2008 with Liv Tyler, and then I was looking and it said no, there was a Strangers movie that came out last year that somehow I missed because I go to movies all the time, especially see horror movies, but this escaped my radar. But I saw that and I thought it was good. You know, it was kind of a throwback slasher movie where these creeps wearing masks are after this girl in the hospital. Some Halloween 2 kind of, it reminded me of Halloween 2 where Jamie Lee Curtis is in the hospital and Michael Myers is after her. It was kind of like that at the beginning. This girl's in the hospital and these creeps are trying to get her. And she tries to escape, and there's some decent gore. There was a part with, I guess it's supposed to be a razorback, some type of pig that looked very fake and CGI that wasn't really scary. I mean, yeah, it was, I'm going to assume this movie's pretty low budget. There were no big actors, or at least anybody I recognized from this movie. But I did enjoy it. It was just kind of an old throwback slasher movie. There was no real comedy in it. Whereas a lot of horror movies now, they always have a comedy element. I think Terrifier was like that. It was not, it did not have any comedy. Now there's parts where the Terrifier would pantomime things and you were supposed to laugh, but I never really found him funny, probably because he was so horrifying. But that's it. The other movie that I saw for Halloween, as far as new movies go, we saw The Long Walk about a month ago, and that was really good. I loved the book. I read the book years ago. I listened to the audiobook and it was great. And the movie was good. I heard it didn't do well at the box office, which it's probably because Stephen King can't shut up about his politics, even though I'm not really sure he had anything to do with the movie. I don't know if he had a producing credit or not. I really don't know. But I saw that. And at home, what I watched, well, I did watch Terrifier 3 again last night, or at least parts of it. I was doing other things while it was on. It's one of those movies I like, kind of the base story about this psycho clown, but he's a demon, and then the girl's, I think, supposed to be like an angel, because she has like this outfit with wings and this sword that her father made for her, and they kind of go into the backstory, and I like that it's just a slasher film that kind of goes places that other movies will not. There's a scene at a mall where this kid opens a present, spoiler alert, and it explodes. And you never see movies where children get harmed. It's very rare. And, this movie, no, they didn't give a shit. They were happy to do this. But it's one of those things where the gore is almost too much. I don't need that much gore. Like the part where this couple's in the shower and they're having sex, and then he's just, it's just constant torture. And I was, like I said, I was working on something for my friend for his birthday, and I look up and there's just this, just blood everywhere, and it's a little much. They could tone it down, so you could still follow the story while doing other things. If you just look up the part where people are talking, because it was just over the top gore. But I kind of enjoy it, but at the same time I almost feel guilty about enjoying it because it is so violent and over the top. And somebody said, why did you watch these movies and cover your eyes? We don't need to see that much gore. I never had to cover my eyes when I was watching like the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And Jason. That stuff was gory too, but I don't know, it was a little different. And other things that have been thinking about, well, Diane Keaton died, which was sad. I really like Diane Keaton. A movie that I like, and this is actually, this movie, it's not a horror movie, but it does have a horror element to it. It's about this teacher. It's called Looking for Mr. Goodbar. And I really don't know many people that have seen it. I was listening to The Nerve this morning, and Maureen mentioned it. She goes, I'm going to talk about a Diane Keaton movie that most of you guys haven't seen. You're going to think of like Annie Hall and, Manhattan and things like that, but then she brought up Goodbar. And it is a really good movie. It's about Diane Keaton's character as a teacher for deaf children. And she grew up in this like repressive Catholic household. And it's during the 70s, during the sexual revolution and everything. And she ends up going bar hopping. Hold on a second, I gotta pass this fucker. Anyway, she ends up going bar hopping, picking up all these guys. Well, the last guy she picks up doesn't end well, and it was based on a true story. And it was also based on a book called Looking for Mr. Goodbar that was actually based on the true story, but it's a lot different from what I remember reading it. I actually like the movie more than the book, but if you want to read a book about the story, the true story, not the fiction book, not Looking for Mr. Goodbar, the real story, it's called Closing Time, and I don't recall the author. I'm sure you can look it up on Amazon, but I read that too, and it was more like what really happened. The movie was more like what really happened to the lady, to Diane Keaton's character, than the fiction that the movie was based on at the time. But it's really good, and it has a young Richard Gere, and you probably recognize some of the other actors in it. I want to say Priscilla Pointer's in it. I think she plays her mother. If you don't know who that is, she was Sue Snell's mother in the movie Carrie. But that's a really good Diane Keaton movie, and it was one of those movies for a long time. It was hard to find, and I've heard different reasons for this. One, I heard the music. There's a lot of great songs, great soundtrack. Donna Summer, Diana Ross, Boss Skaggs. If you get a chance, check it out. Maybe after I finish this video, I'll listen to it the rest of my way to work. But I've heard that is why it is. As far as I know, it doesn't even have an official DVD release. But it is on YouTube as of now. Now, it has been on YouTube in the past. I remember a few years ago I had wanted to watch it, and I went on there and it was in Italian. So, if you want to check it out, just Google it and you can find it on YouTube. It's very good. And, of course, I liked Annie Hall and Manhattan. And I saw Reds years ago, and I'm sure now I watch it and say, yeah, this is propaganda, but I don't know, I'd have to watch it again. But it was a sad loss, because I think Diane Keaton was one of those actresses. She was pretty, but she wasn't pretty like a model. But she had a unique look, and she was just a great actress. And I feel like Goodbar was probably her best role of all the movies I have seen. But it's the one that nobody ever really talks about, even though it did, at the time, it did get Academy Award nominations. I know the woman that plays her sister in the movie Tuesday Weld, she got an Academy Award nomination, and I don't believe she won, but she did get nominated. And, God, what the hell else is going on? I still got a few minutes to kill here. Watch the speed limit. The cops will pull you over for going one over. I don't know. I guess that's probably all for now. I did have eye surgery recently, so I do not have glasses anymore except to read really fine print, which I can still kind of read. Because I got the Odyssey lens. It was a nicer lens than just the base lens, but it's really weird. So you can see I don't have to wear glasses anymore. So that's nice. But, yeah, I guess that's all for now. And look out for more of these, because it is a nice way to kill time. I just killed quite a bit of time coming into town. I'll be at work soon. So, thanks, guys.